I mean, that's a disaster. Tom Aspinall still can't see. He's up right eyeball still.
It's really bad, right?
The reality is he might not ever fight again. Like, who knows? Like, if he has surgery on his eye and it doesn't go well and he can't see out of the eye.
Tom Aspinall might never fight again, and the heavyweight belt could rot in limbo while the UFC pretends everything is fine, and that this can't be real, because that ending sounds insane until you snap backward and see how one illegal moment quietly snowballed into a legacy-threatening disaster that nobody wants to say out loud. And I'm telling you right now, this isn't just about one eye, this is about a division on the edge of collapse and a truth that's being carefully danced around.
And just for everyone wants to know as well, obviously, you've been pretty clear in what you've said. Back to Cyril, but surgery now is the focus, and then we'll kick on to 2026, right?
That's the plan. That's the plan. But by the time this is going out, they probably have had surgery on one side already. The next surgery's coming mid-January, so we're working towards getting back, and that's the plan.
Joe Rogan didn't whisper this, he dropped it like a brick through a window. Because when someone like Rogan openly suggests a reigning champion may never return, that's not podcast chatter. That's a warning flare. And the terrifying part is how casually it was said, like the outcome has already been accepted behind closed doors, while fans are still arguing timelines, surgeries, and hope. And you should be asking yourself why everyone suddenly sounds so careful with their words.
Apparently, he's still up in his right eye. There's some tendon damage or something. And, eyes are so tricky, you never know. Unless you're a complete psychopath like Michael Bisping, who fought 11 fights in the UFC blind in one eye, which is so crazy that he did that.
This all traces back to what was supposed to be a routine heavyweight collision with Cyril Gane. But instead of violence, we got chaos, eye damage, confusion, and a no contest that felt harmless for about 5 minutes. And then reality kicked the door in because eye injuries don't heal on hype. And once vision is compromised, the clock doesn't tick. It stalks you, quietly, patiently, waiting for one rush decision to end everything.
We need to get back again, don't we?
Yeah, Tom needs to get healthy, lad, know what I mean? Wouldn't surprise me if Pereira did move up when he done an instant belt between Pereira and Gant.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight. I think it's a good stylistic match.
Yeah, it's a good stylistic fight.
We need to get back. We need to get back again, don't we?
Yeah, to get you back in the cage, lad. Now you sat out waiting that long and then you get poked in the eye. Like, it couldn't have went much worse, lad. And it me off people like, he done it because he was getting beat. It was the first round.
Mate.
You're finding your range, you're both catching each other. What? Because
nothing happened. You've got to be very uneducated in MMA to say that.
You had a bloody nose and people like, he done his nose. Like, never his nose was bleeding. That can happen off not even a jab. MMA fans are so fickle, lad.
It's sports fans in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sports fans in general.
Jump on and off bandwagons like that. Like, it's mad, lad.
People tried to downplay it early because that's what fans do when the truth is inconvenient. But Aspinall didn't. He talked about daily life changing, about not seeing right, about the kind of damage that follows you into every room. And when a fighter stops talking about camps and starts talking about eyesight, that's not recovery talk. That's survival talk. And yeah, that should make you uncomfortable if you actually care about the sport.
Tom's going to need, apparently, eye surgery. It'll probably just be a minor thing, like a realignment of the tendon, but things can go wrong. Joe is absolutely correct, 100% when he says that things can go wrong. My retina was reattached after it was detached against Vitor Belfort, and then it redetached, and then they fixed it again. And then I got glaucoma, because once you start messing around with the eyes, in fact, just like any part of your body, once you start going in and messing around with it, it's never the same again. It's never quite as strong, and things can go wrong. Now, medical science has improved.
Michael Bisping's shadow is hanging over this entire situation, like a ghost nobody wants to acknowledge, because Bisping is living proof that toughness doesn't scare eye injuries. And when a man who fought blind in one eye tells you to slow down, to wait, to stop rushing, that's not advice. That's regret talking, and regret always sounds calm because it already knows how the story ends.
But for Tom, fingers crossed, he'll be okay, right? Now, everyone that's come out of the woodwork, and if you just look at the comments of that tweet from Joe Rogan, that little clip, my God, there's some people out there, they don't know what they're talking about, man. This is the heavyweight champion of the world. He's not a duck. He's not trying to get out of a fight. He wants to come back and kick Cyril Gane. He put that in a tweet recently. The man's pissed off and I can't wait for the comeback. However, and this is the big however, will he need surgery? Has he had surgery? Does he need surgery? Will he need another surgery? Will there be complications? The one thing you can't do with an eye is rush back. That is the one big lesson that I learned, because I did that. I rushed back too soon. I rushed back to sparring. I rushed back to competition, right? And I never saw that eye again. So Tom has got to take his time. And if he's having surgery, he's definitely going to be out for at least a few months.
Bisping didn't lose his vision overnight. He lost it decision by decision, surgery by surgery, comeback by comeback, and that's the part people ignore, because the real danger isn't one bad operation. It's the pressure to come back early, the whispers that the division needs you, the belt needs you, the fans need you, and someone right now is definitely lying to themselves about how much time they actually need.
Volk's going, isn't he? I think this is going to be Volk's last
I've
one.
heard people saying that Volks might retire after this fight because it's in Australia. But you don't know, do you? Well, people say that all the time and then they fight again.
I hope he does retire, and I'm the biggest Volk fan out there. I want him to retire. If he wins this one, leave it.
I think if I win though and he wins and I get upgraded to undisputed champ like you did, it wouldn't surprise me if he thinks that's the perfect opportunity to win the lightweight belt.
We don't want two mates
I
fighting
don't
each
know,
other.
I don't want to fight Volk, lad. I put up a light Volk, but you probably look at it and think that's my best chance to become lightweight champ, beating Paddy.
Meanwhile, while Aspinall's future hangs by a thread, he's out here talking about Alexander Volkanovski, like a man looking at his own reflection. And when a heavyweight champion tells a featherweight legend to consider walking away on top, that's not disrespect, that's fear disguised as respect. Because fighters recognize patterns, and Volk at 37, back in Sydney, family watching, history heavy, feels like the kind of moment that ends eras whether people want it to or not.
It hits hard, he's got a puncher's chance. Any MMA fight, we know that it's a very dangerous fight. But I think if they fight 100 times, I think Volkanovski wins 95. That's my opinion. I believe Volkanovski comes out of it. He fights a smart fight again.
Aspinall saying he doesn't want to see Volkanovski fight Paddy Pimblett isn't just about friendship, it's about discomfort, about narrative chaos, about matchups that feel wrong in your gut. And when fighters start talking about what shouldn't happen instead of what will, it usually means the machine is already moving in a direction nobody fully controls. And nah, that's where things get dangerous.
Or Mofs are like so it's not clear that Lerone does, or even Mofs are, but Diego Lopez, man, he's an entertainer and people watch him.
Yeah, I can get on board if that's the logic, if they're going for pure entertainment factor. I'm curious what their conversation with Volkanovski is like, even though he said he'd be willing to do this fight and he's always down to fight everyone, but I'd be like, I literally just beat this guy like earlier this year. What point is he proving? Like, are we going to think of Volkanovski's legacy any differently if he wins this fight again? Sure, we might think it differently if he loses, but if he wins it again, does it do anything for him?
No, it doesn't, but it will do a lot for Diego Lopez if he wins.
Sure, but what, how's that a selling point to Volk?
It'll do a lot for Diego Lopez if he wins. So Volk is I actually think Volk is in a no-win situation here. In a way, he's in a no-win situation, because if he wins, hey, you just beat this guy last year. Yeah. And if he wins, you say, yeah, but there's two other guys that probably deserve it more than he does.
Do you think this will be Volkanovski's final fight? It's all there, 37 years old. He said his family wanted him to retire after the last one. He's been open about that. It's back in Sydney. He hasn't fought there in 3 years. I don't know. It feels like the stage is kind of set here.
I think if he loses, this might be it for him.
Then you hit the featherweight mess, where Lerone Murphy does everything right, knocks people unconscious, stays undefeated, speaks confidently, and still gets passed over. And don't tell me that's coincidence, because Murphy himself basically admitted Volkanovski wins that rematch almost every time, which makes you ask the question nobody wants to answer. Why book it again unless the outcome you really care about isn't the champion retaining?
Probably think like, oh, Demetrius and Lerone, well, you have every reason to be mad, but think that Diego Lopez, or hating that I'm mad that he got it. I would say I'm not mad. I just wanted to make sense, right? Like I've been in your shoes before, right? Like defended the belt so many times. I see the guy who's next in line. You know, Joseph Benavidez, after I knocked him out, I beat him in, you know, in Toronto. He goes on a 5-fight win streak. He gets the next title shot. John Dodson, I beat him. He goes on 5-fight win streak. Nowadays, it's like lose to the champion. You go get one fight and you come back like you're already back in the title shot. Right? It's same thing. You know, you look at Peter Yan, he just fought Merab. He took him 3 years. Yeah. 3 years to get back a title shot. Right? It's like, it doesn't, it's almost like, you know, that's what we talk about Dana White privileges. Right? It's like how, like if they want to just say he's way more popular than you guys, he's getting a shot. That's why he's getting a shot. Just way more popular. I don't know if man's on a 20-fight win streak. He's way more popular. Come out and say that. That way the fans can understand. Like, hey, dog, you got it. Yeah,
we know what's what.
We know what's what. Don't tell me that's a cat. Don't show me a cat and say it's a shark. Like, don't do that to me, right? And that's why I feel like I have this big battle with this. Was like, I'm not hating on Diego Lopez. I just want to make it make sense.
Din Thomas saying entertainment beats merit under Paramount isn't analysis, it's confession, because once a sport admits it's driven by excitement over fairness, every title shot becomes suspect, every ranking becomes decoration, and Diego Lopes suddenly isn't just a challenger, he's a business decision. And if that doesn't bother you, you're not watching the same sport I am. Volkanovski is in a no-win situation, and that's the cruelest part. Because if he wins, people shrug, and if he loses, they rewrite his entire legacy in real time. And when analysts start openly asking if this is his last fight, that's not speculation. That's the audience being prepared emotionally for an ending they're not ready to accept yet. And endings always hit harder when you see them coming. Demetrius Johnson cutting through this like a surgeon hurt the most, because when one of the greatest ever tells you the UFC isn't a sport but an entertainment product, that's not bitterness, that's clarity, and pointing out Lopes losing convincingly, then winning once, then jumping the line over undefeated killers exposes a pattern that people defend until it costs their favorite fighter everything. Comparing this to Sean O'Malley getting protected with immediate rematches isn't hate, it's pattern recognition. And when fans are told popularity matters more than streaks, honesty would actually calm things down. But instead we get half-truths, rankings, theater, and explanations that don't add up. And I swear someone is hiding something big in plain sight here. And it's going to surface ugly. All of this collides back into Aspinall because while divisions argue about merit and money, a champion might be losing his career to an injury that never should have happened. And if he rushes back, if pressure wins, if history repeats, the UFC doesn't just lose a fighter, it loses credibility. And yeah, that's a lot heavier than one no contest on a record. Nothing here is settled, nothing feels stable, and every update sounds like it could flip the sport overnight because Aspinall's eye, Volk's future, and the UFC's priorities are all pulling in different directions. And if you think this story is done, you're not paying attention because something feels off, rushed, quiet, and wrong. And when things go quiet like this, that's usually when everything explodes.